I feel so lonely even when people surround me. This is the phrase that I've heard over and over again in the last 1 month. And I bet that at some point of your life, someday, you might have also felt lonely. But I can tell this to you with utmost assurance that you can stop feeling like this. You can actually change this feeling. But for that to happen, you actually need to understand some basics behind what is happening and what you can do about it. And that is exactly what we'll discuss in today's video. Hi, I'm Twinkle and welcome to Self-Authored School for Brainy Baddies. This is session 1. These are the chapters of today's session, so take out your notebook and let's dissect this problem called loneliness. Now, it was 11:07 a.m. I was sitting in a coffee shop with a friend. I was sipping in my iced Americano and she was sipping in her Vienna latte. And I clearly remember that it was drizzling outside. I was lost in my own thought when she said something and I quote that Twinkle, you know what I've been feeling? And as a close friend, I brought all my attention back to her. I asked her, what? And then she said, and I quote, I feel like I'm alone. I have my partner, I have my family, I have people around me. And these people are not just strangers, but these are the people who care for me. Yet, I feel lonely. And just after that, she said, but Twinkle, I think you wouldn't understand it. Now, to pause the story here, I find it very, very funny when people say things like these to me. They subtly pass on to such comments and they make me feel as if I don't have any feelings. They subtly pass these comments which project that probably I don't have emotions or I don't feel things. Even though I can tell you that my situation is on an extreme end. I feel too much. Like genuinely quite a lot. To the point where I allow myself to go down the rabbit holes, dissect my own patterns. And I think that is exactly why I'm able to bounce back from these feelings quicker. And I also think that that is exactly why I make videos like these. To explain it to you how you can bounce back too. Now to circle back to the story, let me tell you exactly what I told my friend after completely ignoring this subtle comment that she passed about me. First of all, I asked her to understand why she felt lonely. And here are some plausible explanations for that. Number one, and this is the biggest one, you probably do not understand the difference between being alone and being lonely. Yup, that's the first thing. Because being alone is more of a physical thing. It's like I am in this room alone while I'm making this video. Whereas being lonely is more psychological. So you are lonely and you are not alone because you have people around you. It's just that you don't feel content. And why this thing is so important to distinguish between these two words so that you learn how to name your emotions properly. And now you know the difference between feeling alone and feeling lonely. Second explanation which I can think of is that you are probably not opening up to the people around you. Psychologically, you feel lonely because you are not opening up to the people who surround you. Now this could happen for multiple reasons. Maybe you are scared of opening up to them. It's normal. Maybe you feel like if you try to explain it to them, they probably won't understand. Again, normal. Or maybe you feel that even when they will listen to you, they will not understand you. And that sucks. To open up to someone only to feel misunderstood. But then, why does it happen that people around you just don't get you even when they love you? And there is only one word that I have for that: experiences. People understand things that are happening to them. Even if they try their hardest, they will never understand your experiences on what you're going through. Because consider this, when you are experiencing something, when you are there in that moment, you are feeling that thing, you are experiencing that thing with all of your senses. But when you're telling someone about that experience, no matter how hard you try, you cannot create that immersive experience for them. You cannot cater to all of their senses. And that is why no matter how hard they try, they cannot understand. And because of that, you feel lonely. Now let me give you an explicit example here. Say you lost your parents when you were too young. Okay? Now a person who has loving and supportive parents throughout their life can never understand that feeling. They can listen to you, sure, but they can't get you. And sharing such things with them will make you feel lonely. But if you get to meet someone who has had a similar path like you, for example, probably they have lost one of their parents, they would be able to relate to you a bit more, right? And there's actually a specific name for what I just described. It is called empathy gap. And it means something really, really simple. When you are not currently feeling something, when it is not happening to you in the present moment, you are terrible at guessing how much it hurts. And you need to understand this because before you get annoyed at people in your life for not understanding you, you have to know that this works on you too. Think about it. The time you were completely broken about something, a job, a breakup, a friendship, whatever it was for you that you thought probably you are never going to recover from. Now that is in the past. And if you're thinking about it now, today, you might feel a little bit lighter, right? You might make it sound like, oh, that was just a phase. Why is that happening? Because you are not inside that feeling anymore. So you can't actually reach that feeling feeling and describe exactly how it hurts. That is the empathy gap. And if you cannot do it for your own past self, if you cannot empathize with your own past self, think about what happens when you try to hand over your experiences to somebody else, somebody who has never really gone through those things. And this is not just a theory, this is actually a research. You can study about it. So basically, your husband, your mother, your best friend, they're not failing you. They're just standing in a different spectrum, and no matter how hard they try to get you, it is not easier for them. So basically, you cannot embed a feeling into someone. They either get it or they don't. They've either felt it or they haven't. And this is a realization which I want you to understand and sit with. The realization that most of us are not lonely because nobody loves us. We are lonely because we handed one person a job that no single human being can actually do. It's too much for one person. We are lonely because we are handing over our emotions to someone who has never experienced it. So now that we have dissected this problem, you may ask, Twinkle, what can we do about it? And in the simplest terms possible, let me tell you, stop looking for everything in one person. Hear me out. What I understand from my friend when she was sharing her experience with me was that she was relying too much on her husband and on her family to understand her ambition problems. Whereas her partner is a businessman and she's doing a job. Again, both are having different experiences. Her mother-in-law is a homemaker. Her father-in-law, again, a businessman. So then how are they going to actually understand someone who is an employee? There's a huge mindset shift there. And it is only normal to rely 100% on our partner to understand our feelings. But then the harsh truth is that he probably won't. He hasn't had that experience. He hasn't worked under anyone else. So he probably does not know how it feels for you. On a side note here, he probably has to be a good listener to just make you feel heard. But what you are seeking here is that you are not feeling lonely in all those emotions that you are giving to him. And that is why it is important that you stop looking for everything in one person and start finding one person for every domain of your life. And the way you do that is by building what I like to call a social portfolio. See, when someone builds an investment portfolio, normally this is how it looks. They don't put all their money into one stock, because if that one stock crashes, they loses everything. That's how it works. So they spread their money out, they spread their assets out, and your relationships have to work in the same way. But the truth is that most of us haven't thought about it that way. So here's how you actually build a social portfolio. Take a piece of paper, write down all the parts of your life that matter to you right now. Your work, your ambition, your health, your faith, if you have any, your hobbies, whatever they are for you, just write them down. Now next to each one, write the name of one person who genuinely gets you in that area. And when you will be doing that activity, when you will be writing down the name of people, you will notice two things. First, some of those names are getting repeated, and that's fine. And second, some of those are just going to be completely empty. That empty line is where you need to focus on. That is where your loneliness is stemming from. So basically, your whole life is not an issue, just that one aspect of your life. And that's a much smaller problem than stating that nobody understands me, nobody loves me, nobody gets me. No, because you don't have to scrape off your existing life. You just have to find that one person in that one domain. And again, I'm not just saying it because I want to say it, and it is actually a research-backed practice where Harvard researchers looked at the variety of relationships people had in their life. Partner, family, close friends, colleagues, acquaintances, and even the strangers that they meet. And they found something very interesting, that people who had variety of people surrounding them reported feeling better well-being overall. So basically, the more types of interactions you have in your life, the better your quality of life is. So basically, your loneliness is not relying on the factor that how many people are in the room. It is relying on the fact that how many different rooms you are in. And once you start thinking about it this way, it stops being emotional and it starts being a structural thing in your life that you can fix. So you are not searching for a better husband, better family, or better friends. You are basically spreading it all out. And that is exactly why it is important to start building your own community. Because all of us have this unique combination of interests, right? And it is true that we cannot find all of our interests into one person because each one of us is unique. But what we can do is we can find different people for all of our interests. We can learn from them, we can grow with them, we can build a community with them. That has to be our own safe space, our own tribe. And if you don't want to build a community, if you are scared to initiate something like that, then you always have the option to join existing communities. There are so many of them. So for instance, you enjoy reading but nobody in your family enjoys it. Then what you can do is you can go join a book club. Online, offline, doesn't matter. What matters is that there you are going to find fellow readers. And that is going to add to the happiness of your life. That is the gap which you need to start closing. And now, sometimes it might also happen that you have to start walking a path before you find someone. Let me give an example here. Let's say you want to start workout and you need a partner, but nobody in your family is interested in going to sweat in the gym. So you have two options then. you either quit that venture altogether or you start going to the gym alone. Now, when you start going to the gym alone, it is very much possible that you are going to find someone who hits the gym around the same time as you, who has more or less the same goals as you have, who lives nearby, because of course, why would they come to the same gym then? And then gradually you start supporting each other and you become friends. It's all a lived experiences, guys. It happens. And it will only happen when you will go out there and start seeking these experiences, when you will allow yourself to be the human you are. So in the end, I just want to tell you that having this horrible feeling of being lonely even when you're surrounded by people is horrible. I know that because I've been there. But what is even more heartbreaking, in my opinion, is not allowing yourself out of it. So, before you leave this session, I just want to remind you that you have more control over your life than you think. It is only a question of claiming it. And also understanding that who can be a part of which aspect of your life while you allow yourself to become whole. And I'll leave you with this thought until next week. So, make sure to like, subscribe, and do all the needful. And I will see you in the next session, Brainy Baddies.